So I'm here right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the only guys that I could find that are still rebuilding these air pumps were out in Washington State. So I sent my old pump out to Washington State and had these guys rebuild it. Evidently, the 1984 Crossfire car has its own pump. The 82 Crossfire pump is different. One being the 82 Crossfire had V belts, where the 84 had serpentine belts. But evidently it's a 1-year pump. Nobody has it. There's no way of getting it. You have to have it rebuilt. So I sent it out to Washington. $250 to get that thing to go out, come back, and be rebuilt. But hey, I wanted a factory pump, so that's what I got. So we'll go ahead and we'll take this air pump delete off. If you've watched my previous video, you saw that I deleted the air pump when the bearings went out of it, and I came up with this setup. Works good. A different belt, different pulley, obviously. Worked real good. I'll leave the link in the bottom if you want to do an air pump delete, but we'll go ahead and change this back out, take out the delete system, and put the pump back in. Yeah, so the first thing we'll do is take out this pulley that I put in. Once again, you can take a look at the previous video. I'll put a link for the delete. As you can see, I didn't take out the solenoids or anything else because I knew eventually I was going to put this air pump back in. Put so much Loctite on that one bolt, or that one nut, that it actually Loctited the washer on there. And it was kind of a pain in the ass to get out. So, but 2 screws, real easy to get that in and out. Pops right in and out there, and then you can see that I put a pack of 10 washers behind each one of the bolts to make that thing fit correctly. So now we'll go ahead and we'll put that new pump back on. We'll take off, I put a piece of duct tape just so we wouldn't get moisture down in the A.I.R system. So we'll put that pump back in. Now, I'm struggling a little bit with this pump. If I would have loosened the other 2 bolts on that bottom bracket first, this pump would have gone in a whole lot easier, but for some reason I just wanted to fight it before I loosened these 2 other bolts on the bracket. So I finally realized, oh hey, you know what, if you loosen up this bolt and the other bolt, this thing's going to just fall right in. So I went ahead and loosened those 2, which allowed that front bracket just to move just enough that it allowed that pump to fall into place. And then, like I said, you get that bracket just to move just enough. And so it basically, the pump holds in by 3 bolts. There's 2 on the top power steering, small bolts that screw right into the air pump. And I think that's one of the things that makes it different from the 82 to the 84. I'm not quite sure on that. And then 1 lower bolt. So 3 bolts all together holding the pump in. And then we'll have a couple more bolts to hold bracketry for the air volume itself. So we'll go ahead and get these two top bolts tightened up. We'll get the base bolt tightened up, and then that'll allow me to get the bracket good and tight down at the bottom. So we got one more bolt. It's actually a nut. It's kind of hidden down by the water pump. And then a bolt that's sideways, so that little triangle bracket, and that's the third bolt that I'm trying to get to now. It bolts straight down into the water pump. So the next thing we'll go after is the two 13mm bolts that hold the air valve onto the pump itself. The pump has two diverter valves down in there. The bottom one's kind of hard to see, but it's got one valve that'll divert to the air cleaner, and one valve that will divert to the exhaust system. And 113 is a little tight under that bracket there. Getting in with a 1/4 inch swivel. Not too bad, but I just couldn't get in there with a wrench. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the pulley on the front. We'll just start these with our hands, and then we'll wait until we get the belt on. Once I get the belt on, then I'll go ahead and tighten them down. But if you try to tighten them without the belt on, the pulley just wants to spin. It's a pain in the butt. So put them in hand tight, and then put the belt on. Once you get the belt on, that'll put enough tension on that pulley to allow you to tighten those 3 10mm bolts. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the belt on. Now, this is the stock belt, which is a little bit longer than the smaller belt that I was using with the delete system. Just go ahead and look at everything, make sure all your belts or your pulleys are lined up with the belt. Last thing you want to do, obviously, is throw a belt, or you could rip the belt if you put it on, if you don't have it all the way on the pulley. I've seen it actually cut through it like a knife, but straightforward, right? No big deal. It's just sometimes you can't see all those pulleys down at the bottom. Now we'll go ahead and we'll tighten up those 3 10mm bolts. Much easier once you have the tension on it from the belt. Doesn't want to move anymore. All right, so we go fire up the car. Belt seats itself, everything looks good, everything's smooth, everything's in alignment. So we're basically done, right? We'll put the air cleaner back on and send it on its way, right? Go take it for a test drive and see how it all works. I appreciate you guys all staying tuned and watching this thing. Please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm sitting right around 600 right now. It's kind of hard with the Crossfire car. It's a very limited audience, so I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you.